Okay, so welcome to a knee stability and mobility session. What you're gonna need is some barefoot shoes or no shoes at all. You can do this barefoot, but ideally I don't want you wearing a thick trainer sole because you're not going to be able to feel the ground or balance as easy. You might need a band and a wedge, which if you don't have a wedge, you can create something out of some plates and some dumbbells. I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so ideally you're gonna have a wedge with a sticky surface so that you don't slip, but if you, for whatever reason you don't have one, you can use a hex dumbbell with a normal Olympic weight plate. It is not as sturdy and it bends a little bit, but it'll still give you that angle, so as long as you're careful, this will still work. Okay, so to start off with, we are gonna do knee rotations, not full knee cars. So all we're doing is bringing our arm underneath our leg, and we're going to bring our other hand on top of our tib so that we can feel the tib rotating. You're gonna rotate your foot away from the midline of your body, then towards the midline of your body. And we're gonna do about 10 reps here, trying to warm up. And try to feel that this area is rotating, not just your foot moving around. So I particularly prefer this version instead of full knee cars because it's just a lot easier, especially if you're stiff. And we're gonna go up a little bit higher and do 10 rotations again. You might even feel your tibialis anterior burning up because your toes are pulling up as you do this. And then we're going to go touch higher. This is where most people find it hard. And do another 10 reps. Cool. So, next side. Starting at the bottom for 10 reps. A bit higher. And then a bit higher for our last 10 reps. So we're totaling 30 reps on each leg in different ranges. And then from here, once you've warmed up, we can try the full knee cars. So I'm going to pull my toe as far inwards as I can. Then I'm going to straighten my leg as much as I can from here. You might feel some pulling, but don't worry about that. Don't force it. Don't force going as straight as you can, because that's what's really, really hard for most people, is that last little point. So all we're doing is putting the toe in, straightening as much as you're comfortable, then putting the toe away, and then coming back down. And we're going to do 3 rotations like this, in this direction. And then we're gonna go the opposite way. And if for whatever reason this is uncomfortable, just lower the range and you should find a range that you are comfy to work within. And this is just a warm-up, so you don't need to force this. So other side, toe going in, up as far as you're comfy, toe going out, and all the way down. So we're gonna do 3 rounds like that. And then 3 rounds in the opposite direction. Okay, so next we are going to warm up the glute med. You can do this without a band or with a band, it's up to you. With a band, it's going to be a bit harder. We're going to place it around the ankles and then place it around the midfoot. You can hold on to something for stability. And while we're pointing the foot in slightly, we're bringing the heel back into a sort of kick. We're going to do about 10 of these just to warm up. This is going to help us with other stability exercises later. And you should feel your glute kicking in. Once you reach 10, do a 2 to 5 second hover, and then we're switching sides. then 2 to 5 second hover at the end. Okay, so the next thing we're doing is side laying hip lifts. You can again do this with a band. We can put it around your knees. So if you're a beginner with this, you can simply lift up and leave it there. But if you feel like that is easy to do, you can then add the extra leg lift. So we're going to come down and up and lift that leg. We're going to do 6 reps of these and then a hover. And you're doing your 2 to 5 second hover at the top. And switching sides. Next, we are doing knee isometrics. So same in the same starting position like the knee cars we did earlier. We're going to have our hand underneath our leg, and we're going to have our hand here to feel where the tib is going. So first, we're going to pull the foot as far into the midline of the body, and then what we can do is add a little bit of resistance from your hand. So if you're a beginner with this, I would recommend really mild pressure. And if you are more experienced, you've done this a few times, you can tug a little bit harder and get more of a stretch out of it. So we're gonna hold this for 1 to 2 minutes. Please just put a timer on your phone and keep an eye on how long you are holding this stretch. For more hypermobile people, you'll be closer to about 30 seconds to a minute until you feel comfortable. And for people with a stiffer tissue type, you might need 2 to even 4 minutes. Once that is comfortable for you and it no longer feels like an intense stretch, we're going to go into isometric contractions. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try to pull my foot away from my hand and resist with my hand, so I create an isometric tension, a bit of isometric tension in my leg. I'm going to hold this for 10 seconds, and I'm doing about 50% intensity because I haven't done these in a while, but if you do these often, you can go up to 100% effort. Once that 10 seconds is up, you can then place your hand on the inside of your foot and try to push your foot into your hand for another 10 seconds. And we're doing this 3 times, so now pulling away into that hand, 10 seconds. Pushing into your hand. Last round. Way around, pushing into your hand. Great. And now we're going to go the other way. So we're going to basically bring the other arm underneath the leg, and I'm going to pull this foot away from the midline, and I'm going to hold this stretch for 1 to 2 minutes until I feel like it's no longer an intense stretch. So again, put your timers on, see how long you need, and then pause the video and come back. And once you are ready to do your isometrics and it no longer feels like an intense stretch, we're going to do the opposite. So we're going to be pushing our foot into the midline of our body and resisting with our hand. So 10 seconds doing that. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now the other way round, I'm going to be pushing. Putting my hand on the outside of my foot and trying to touch my hand with my foot and really push into it, surprisingly hard. 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 more rounds of 10 seconds each side. So 10 seconds counting down now, pulling your toes towards your hand. Now the other way around, again, try to push into that hand. way round, 10 seconds. And last round. Okay, well done. You'll probably need to sort of shake off a little bit. And we're gonna do the other side. So, starting off with that stretch, pulling the foot towards the midline of your body, and set your timer for 1 to 2 minutes now. And pause the video and resume when you are not in a deep stretch anymore. Now that you are ready to do the isometrics, we're going to start with pushing into our hand 10 seconds, and then we're going to place the hand here and then push into this hand again for 10 seconds, 3 rounds, just like we did before on the other leg. So 10 seconds starting now. Other side, pushing into the hand. Into the hand again. Now pushing the foot into the midline of the body. And last round, so trying to get those toes away from the midline of the body, pushing into that hand. And last 10 seconds, pulling the toes into the midline of the body. All right, and then just shake it off. And we're gonna get ready next to release the back of the knee. All right, so the reason we're doing this is because a lot of people do have discomfort at the back of the knee and tightness at the back of the knee. So I'm gonna show you a quick release technique that you could do to basically try to get rid of that tightness. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna find the popliteus muscle release point. So from here, I'm going to place my thumb into this crease of my leg. And when you see where your thumb ends, you're going to massage around this area, trying to find a sort of tender spot. It should feel a bit like a bruise. And once you do find it, we're going to massage this area for about 1 to 2 minutes, or as long as you need. If you do this kind of more regularly, you probably only need to do about 30 seconds of massage work, but it is quite unpleasant. It will feel like a bit of a lump in your leg, not very nice. And just try to slowly increase that pressure, not to the point of sharp pain, just a little bit of mild discomfort. Once you're done massaging this area, that's when we're going to use your wedge. So I'm going to place the foot on it so that you're in a stretch. You're going to hinge back the way, and you're going to place your hand onto the other leg, and from here we're going to straighten the leg and release, and you will feel that tightness back here as you straighten. And when you straighten, I just want you to think of squeezing the quad and then releasing. So we'll do about 10 to 20 reps of that, and then switch to the other side. This is a muscle that often gets forgotten about, but it can often lead to a few knee stability and discomfort issues. Okie doke, so doing the other side now. Again, just looking for where that pressure point will be. Massaging for as long as you need until it feels a little bit more bearable. And then we'll do the dynamic stretches. Okay, so just using your wedge, leaning back into your other leg, placing your weight on the other leg, and then squeezing and releasing. Okay, so next we are doing a Poliquin step down. And we're just going to take this nice and slow, bring the heel to the ground and back up. So we're going to do about 8 reps of this, nice and slowly. And switching sides. What we're going to do next is grab a light band, attach it somewhere to the side of you. If you have a door frame, that should work. And we're going to make the band try to pull our knee towards the midline of our body. And we're going to resist that while doing a Poliquin step down. So just get my foot on the other side. All right. And it's really very minor pulling. It's a very, very light band, but it's just enough to kind of make you feel a bit wobbly and need to stabilize a little bit more. Again, we're doing those 8 reps. And then I'm going to switch sides. Okay. So again, 8 reps. And the next thing after this, we've got 2 more exercises to go and we're done. So the next thing I'm doing is a quarter squat hover. I'm calling it quarter squat because it's just like a mini squat. So we're coming down into a mini squat, placing all our weight into this leg and hovering for 2 to 5 seconds, as long as you can handle balancing. Switching sides, staying low, and balancing for another 2 to 5 seconds. We'll do like 4 to 6 steps like this before having a little rest. Should be burning up around here now. You shouldn't be feeling any discomfort in your knees. Could be a little bit of mild tugging. Obviously the muscles are working, but nothing sharp. And then when you feel like this is comfortable and doable, you can actually take a rest and do one more round, or you can take a rest and do one more round with weight. I would usually rest for about 1 to 2 minutes if you're tired by this point. But even if you don't feel super tired, at least try to take a minute's rest so that you can just let your muscles recover a little. And from here, doing one more round either with or without a weight. 2 to 5 second pauses on each rep. Nice. Got 1 more each leg to go. All right, so the last exercise is clock face toe taps. We're going to imagine we're standing in the middle of a clock, and we're just simply going to have a little bend in the knee. So we've got bouncy knees, nothing straight. We're going to keep this bent at different degrees, and we're going to reach for each imaginary number on the clock. And when you come back into the middle, you're going to ever so slightly straighten, not fully straighten, but almost straighten. And we're just making our way around the clock 1 to 2 times, depending on how tired you are. So at this point, your legs should be starting to feel a little bit tired after everything we've done, especially because we've done so much stability work. So I've just done 1 round for each leg. If you feel like you've got it in you still, we're going to do 1 more round, and that's the last thing we're doing. Just making our way around this imaginary clock. All right, I hope you found that useful, and if you did, please comment and like the video. Let me know what you would like to see next, and I will see you next week in another video.